thanks for tuning in to our horror movie review show.
Oh, we're not doing that again.
I Knew What You Watched Last Week, episode 87, where we shall be discussing zombies, found footage, and Ouija boards. So, boss lady, take it away.
All right, everyone. We started our week.
I'm here to vamp now.
We started our week with the Crazies.
2010 remake of the Crazies, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not original Crazies.
Then we saw the aforementioned found footage. As above, so below.
Yeah, is that some kind of sexual innuendo?
I don't think so. But And finally, we finished the week with Ouija, Origin of Evil.
Yes, the origin.
Which was a rewatch, because we've seen this one before.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen the previous two.
Oh, movie. I thought you meant the previous two Ouijas. I was like, there's one before that one, so...
The other two movies. But you've seen all of them, right?
Yeah, I've seen all of them. And this does have a theme, because we've got to move from... It's the noughties, 2010, 2014,
we love a theme here at Heathen.
2016. So, who's going to rank them?
Well, I for once have a really clear ranking, which I haven't for a few weeks now.
Mine's been changing, which surprised me. Because I thought I knew what I was going to put them in pre-watch.
But you changed your mind.
Changed my mind on the...
Okay.
Yeah, second viewing.
Well, why don't you enlighten us on what you finally decided?
Third place, Ouija, Origin of Evil. Second place, As Above, So Below. I can't believe I didn't put a found footage movie at the bottom. And that leaves on top the Crazies.
Okay, well, top place is obvious. Yeah, I completely agree. The Crazies was by far the best. But I've actually put third place, As Above, So Below. Second place, Ouija. But, to be honest, they were both pretty terrible movies. Each in... Well, actually, no, I was going to say each in their own way, but there are a lot of crossovers of terribleness. And that's a word now. So, whose order are we going in?
We'll start, I think... with mine.
Okay. Should have seen that coming, really. Why ask?
So bottom
Which
place.
means Ouija, Origin of Evil.
Yeah.
So, how would you sum up this movie?
That's a great question. Hope you ask it for the other two movies too. I would sum up this movie, Ouija, Origin of Evil, with warp voice, big mouth, some talking to the other side, and really bad parenting, really bad mothering.
Yeah, it's not the best, is it? So this movie is...
No, I don't like her face. I don't like her attitude. I don't like her. Was I supposed to like the mother in this?
Yeah, I think you are, but they've really... To be fair, the first time we watched this, I didn't notice it as much, but when we were rewatching it yesterday, or the day, whenever it was, I was like, wow, this woman is not likeable.
This is the movie I've seen the most now. I think this is the third time that I've watched this. And this one, I think, is better than Ouija, which is the first one. Have you seen that? It has the girl from Bates Motel who carries around an oxygen canister.
I'm not sure.
She's the male in it, yeah.
I don't recall if I have.
I actually thought, having only watched this twice before, actually on the second time I enjoyed it less. And this time, obviously, hit me even more.
It's really bad.
Ouija itself isn't a good film, so that really tells you the kind of level of this one.
Yeah, again...
To the point where it was so bad now, I'm thinking, have I got to go back and watch Ouija and reassess things?
I didn't remember this film being quite as bad as it was. It's only when you start paying attention that you realise.
Yeah, I don't have to pay attention on the first and second watch.
So... Do you want to go through it in your way? Or am I going to ruin it by saying stuff? Because I was going to say the first thing about this woman, this mother, that made me be like questioning, are we supposed to like her and root for her, is that she and her kids are running a racket, like faking that they can speak to people's deceased loved ones. And she's doing that whole thing of, oh, but we're not frauds because... we do tell them things that make them happy. And I was like, but that is still fraud.
This woman she has 2 daughters, as you said. The older one, who's the redhead. So the younger one is like the evil little girl.
Well, the one who gets possessed by evil. She herself is...
And, I mean, no wonder she has issues, and this is the first reason I don't like the mother. Who in their right mind names their child Doris?
Doris Day.
Yeah, but that's a long time ago.
But this is set in, what, 67, right?
Something like that. I thought it was supposed to be more like the 50s or something, but whatever it was.
So the costume and
Didn't
makeup
look like either
design really bugged me in this.
What about the actual game of Ouija? The box looks like it's from 2026.
Brand new, and the way they were like holding themselves and talking, just none of it was selling retro to me, which is a little bugbear I have with things like that.
You know, but more importantly, how'd you go about it? Like, I'll meet my new daughter Doris. She's 87.
Yeah, and this also brings me on to the acting side, because the little girl, she's a little girl.
Little girls aren't scary. Certainly not this little girl.
You've got to give him that. And she didn't do a terrible job.
No, she was perfectly fine.
But yeah, she was probably actually the best one. And then the redheaded daughter, I absolutely hated her performance.
Why?
She gave a good bit right towards the end in 2 separate scenes.
Was that too late for you then to redeem?
But, yeah, I was like, no, this has just been horrible.
She didn't bug me at all.
Oh, it bugged me.
Just other things of the movie.
All right.
Like naming a child Doris. Something that a child will never, ever get over. Is this movie blasphemous in that the mother is thirsting over a priest?
I thought you were just going to say because they're using Ouija boards and stuff, but yeah.
She wants it.
I think he wants it too.
Well, I don't know how long he's been in the priesthood, but he was previously married, and I imagine he misses the welcoming, inviting sight.
Don't finish. No. Let's just leave that. Right. No. Okay.
That's what I was thinking. I was also... I got a little bit sidetracked during this movie, and you can't blame me, because what they do is they insert the Catholic schoolgirl uniform quite early, and I instantly just started thinking of you in a Catholic schoolgirl uniform.
Jonathan!
And how am I supposed to recover from that?
I'm sorry. This is supposed to be a horror movie review show, not trying to share your sexual fantasies.
It's not my sexual... It's my review of the horror movie. This is what it was making me feel. It's not the feeling it gave me, the true soulful review. And now it's happened again, because now I'm thinking of that again. How am I supposed to get on with the review now?
Well, I'll take over. So we've mentioned there's a mum with her 2 daughters. The dad is no longer with them. He's passed away. And the daughters go to a Catholic school, hence the priest, who is one of the teachers, and also seems to take a lot of extracurricular time to involve himself in his students' lives.
This film is quite boring.
The middle girl, the redhead, she sneaks out one night.
She's the middle
naughty,
girl.
Naughty.
I thought she was the oldest sibling.
Yeah, okay, she's the eldest. But of the 3 women. Anyway, she sneaks out one night to meet some friends, and they pull out a Ouija board and play it.
What do you think of the Ouija board subgenre which you now have? Because there are just countless movies. I saw one called the other day, not watched it, just saw it advertised. Ouija Seance. Stuff like this, you know, Ouija Bigfoot.
Seance Metaxu.
Bigfoot Ouija. That's where we're heading. Ouija Shark. Ouija Shark 2, that one got a sequel.
Yeah, let's just say I'm so over it.
You're over it. Has there even been a good one, really?
I don't know, because the concept should be brilliant.
Exactly. It should be. There should be a classic. I know we've got some of it in The Exorcist, but it's not the overall story.
I think the problem with it is that
whereas
by
this
this
uses
point,
Ouija board as the story.
All the things that would be creepy, like they've been done already in a non-creepy movie, so it kind of takes away from it.
We got to...
Maybe a J-horror Ouija movie. Should we get that?
Yeah, I'm sure one already exists. But we use a little bit of Ouija and Heathen as well. Mm-hmm. But once again, it's not a big part of the story. It's just one scene. And because it's an ode to horror, of course, I had to include some Ouija action in there. And yeah, just yesterday got me thinking, yeah, it hasn't really been a good one. And there's loads of them.
It's a shame.
Yeah, so it's open.
Missed.
It's open to be conquered.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on with the story. Girl
the story,
gets told
such
off.
as it is.
for sneaking out, but she suggests to her mum that they should add a Ouija board to their show, their scam. Let's be honest.
Sewer. Why have I written sewer in large letters? The sewer. What did the sewer have to do with this movie? Something about the sewers. Oh yeah, one of the Ouijas, one of the sessions, when the priest is sitting down and he's being questioned.
Right.
When he starts asking the little girl who's possessed, something like, "Oh, where did I meet you, my wife?" Because he thinks he's talking to his wife.
Yeah.
So he asks a question along those lines, and I thought it spelled out sewer. So I was thinking, what has he and his wife done to meet in a sewer?
I think you're actually thinking of when the mum asks, when I was pregnant with the first child, where were you when I told you?
When I told you in the sewer.
Shower.
So they got married somewhere else, and when it was time to get pregnant, they decided to go down subterranean and announce the news.
I'm imagining he was in the shower, she was taking piss on Stick.
That's not the only
Stick said preggers, and she went, "Hey, honey, I'm pregnant." That's what I think happened. So anyway,
does a pregnancy stick even exist in 1967? That's what you're telling me when it was made, or based, should I say?
I don't know. You find that more interesting than this movie? Doesn't that just say a lot?
What about Loverboy?
Yes, Loverboy.
Do you like Loverboy?
Oh my god,
Loverboy.
This is so not in any way your usual chronological.
He was lit nicely, wasn't he?
Yeah, I didn't love him either.
No, but he's such a good guy.
Actually, I thought the priest was good.
My question is...
That's basically it, performance-wise.
We find out because the irresponsible mother warns him, and she says, "You're 17," or he admits that he's 17. So that asks the question, how old is the redhead that he's dating?
Well, she said she's a sophomore. I don't know what that means, though.
Neither do I. I'm just going to assume it means 16. She's not older than him, is she?
No, she's younger, obviously.
No.
That's why the mum brought it up. That's the whole point.
Yeah. But he's making her excited. She's very excited. There was a lot of subliminal messaging in this, because there's a scene where the mother sits down for dinner with the priest, and she keeps saying the word "blow." It's like just inserted as many times "blow." And there was another conversation they had where she was like, "Oh, I don't know what she was referring to, but she said I want it," and she said "I want it" more than once as well. So it's "blow," "I want it." I didn't write this thing.
Yeah, okay. I think it's very clearly implied that they both want each other, but, he's blown it.
I felt he was more restrained, though,
by
with it.
putting on the collar.
Now you just said it.
I know I did. That was on purpose.
It's infested your mind as well.
Anyway.
I felt he was more restrained. She was just flat out.
I don't know. I don't get anything sexual from her, so I wasn't reading that at all. But anyway.
She's a single mother in 1967.
She has purchased the Ouija board for their scam, and we see her setting up the magnets and stuff so she can scam people by moving her legs under the table.
So she didn't have a more majestic, magical kind of Ouija board, seeing as this is a profession. Instead, she went out and bought a game. Mm-hmm. And then the game is cursed.
And now the youngest daughter...
That's not good writing.
...is playing with the Ouija board, and she takes her hands off, and the planchette is moving by itself. Mm. So clearly there are spirits there. And she picks up the planchette, and there's like the glass thing, and she can see dead people. Right?
That's sexual too, peepholes. In a very perverse manner.
I don't know what is going on with you today. Let's try and keep it to the movies, shall we?
I am keeping it to the movie. Was this a sexual movie? Because that was
it sexual?
That was my
says Sharon Osbourne. No.
overriding memory of it.
This was not in any way sexual.
Mm.
Like, the most sexual thing that happens is...
Like I said, I wasn't really concentrating after they
kiss.
blasted my mind.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the little girl is
Can I just say, it's the beginning of what I like to call London summer, not English summer, because I'm not quite sure what it's like up north. I've heard it's grim, and that's why today I've decided to dress as a tennis pro. Did you get that?
No.
I don't like tennis. Okay. But it would be much better if in the stadium people could like roar and shout and stuff like that, rather than just shh, quiet. What's that about? You can't play tennis when people are shouting. Or maybe you should practice more. Anyway, back to the movie.
Thank you. Okay, so the little girl, she's communicating with the spirits that are in the house. She thinks she's communicating with her deceased dad as well. And she starts getting taken over. And she just has like this pain in her neck, doesn't she?
She's a pain in the neck. Especially to Loverboy.
She has a pain on her neck, and she uses the planchette to look in the mirror, and we see some black demon thing crouching on her shoulders, right?
Mm-hmm. Glowing yellow eyes.
And then we get the first instance.
This is like a child's film.
That you mentioned of Big Mouth.
Oh, yes, Big Mouth and warp voice.
Because
and
the
little
demon,
girl talking in adults' voices in just a general...
The demon
the priest
shoves
dead
his arm
wife.
in and I can only assume puts himself into her body. Yeah, so that's why... What? You didn't get that? Yeah, so she's been taken over by this demon and she starts doing things like you said,
like I said,
threatening Loverboy. Threatening Loverboy.
He's just being polite.
Saying weird things. Yeah, he is just being polite.
But no, was the little girl scary when she was?
No.
No, they didn't armor with enough good stuff.
They could have maybe
little
lit
girls
it and
just
shot
aren't really
it
scary
differently because she was a good little actress, I suppose, for the age, but like she just wasn't quite pulling it off, the creepiness.
You know, after you've seen a 13-year-old girl masturbate with a crucifix in a film, that's scary. So unless you're going to top that, little girls just aren't going to be scary, are they? In a possession movie. I'm talking about Reagan.
I know you are.
Yeah, well, that happened. I didn't write that either.
I know you didn't.
Genius as it is. There's none of that in this, is there? None of that in Ouija. They could use a bit of that.
No.
Then I might take it seriously.
It's just loads of and white eyes.
Computer mouth.
White eyes.
And she likes to watch television. That makes her go into some kind of trance with Big Mouth as well.
Like Poltergeist.
It was a bit like Poltergeist, yeah.
And she also does this weird thing where she'll get someone and just like in their ears. What was that about?
It's the demon
doing what?
Warping the minds of the characters, turning them doolally and catatonic, and open for possession. In case he has,
I'm possessed now.
In case he has to leave the vessel of the little girl.
Okay, because I didn't really get what that was doing. But anyway, we get...
It was scaring you.
Right
what it was
towards
doing.
the end, after Priest has tried to help, the older sister saw her writing some Polish monologue thing, gave it to Priest to have it translated by apparently one of the nuns who works there was from Poland.
If it was in Polish, they could have used the girl Scarlet from As Above, So Below, because she speaks like 6 languages and 2 of them are dead languages.
We're not at that film yet, Johnny.
Seems
you
like
can
a
bring
waste,
that up when we get
seems
there.
like a waste of time.
And it's translated to be like the first-hand account of a Polish patient who was taken to this house by a
Polish pastry.
deranged doctor.
It was the first account of Polish pastry to be sold in a megastore.
And it goes on to continue the story even post his death.
Post-haste.
So, yeah, something bad is going on. And now Loverboy turns up.
What about scary vinyl players? Do you find vinyl players and vinyl scary? I feel like Insidious set that off. And there's clearly movies before that. I'm talking about in the more modern day.
That one scene in Insidious I do find quite creepy. Yeah, seeing the thing like
they also use
down.
old weird songs in a much better way than this one did.
Yes,
they've just tried to do the same thing again, haven't they?
But then this one did it.
No James Wan. Not even close.
Loverboy turns up. He gets hanged. He's hung. Yeah, as you said.
And then his girlfriend, the redhead sister, she's upset that he's hung.
I think that's quite understandable.
She's upset because he was hung.
You are so dumb. He's hung. The priest is like chucked down the stairs. So he breaks
I told you
his
this
neck.
movie was highly sexual.
And the little girl.
It's pure filth, actually. Come to think of it.
Still just like offering everyone how. Oh yeah. So then the elder sister is like, "Oh, I need to sew her lips together so the voices stop." So then we see some really weird scene. Do you remember like? So she's got like all these black demon hands all over her, and then she's just doing this with like the sewing needle. I was like, why is she moving like that?
Because she's violently sewing her sister's mouth shut.
Yeah.
Because they can't actually show the mouth being shut because they want to keep it rated 12 or PG-13, whatever it is. So instead they just show her quite over-violently throwing the
it's very,
needle
very
up
strange.
And then back down. And it wasn't effective for me.
It was not.
I'll tell you what, though. Tell you what was effective is when the mother mother comes in and she sees the little daughter, I think now has got the older daughter over her lap and she's whispering to her on the stairs. Or she's whispering to someone on the stairs. And the mother's like, "Let them go. Take me." That was fresh.
Never seen that.
That was fresh.
Okay. So she's sewn her little sister's mouth shut.
Doesn't end there, though,
which
does
has
it?
killed her. I mean, that would hurt like hell, I'm sure. But, like, would it kill someone?
Do you think the writers or producers, whoever's decided to write, let them go take me for the umpteenth time, was like proud of themselves? Or they're just whatever.
It was a good day's work. Let me light this cigar and have a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you think having your mouth sewn shut would kill you instantly?
No. Why would it do that? It
Well, it does in this film, doesn't it? That's what kills the little girl. She's dead.
Because she can't hear the voices anymore, or the voices can't get in her, or she can't speak her own voice now. It's about silencing women.
Then Mum is really upset,
from a very young age.
Yet again.
Get them early.
Daughter gets momentarily possessed.
Yeah.
The elder daughter. Stabs her mum, comes back to herself. Then we get the one instance of, like, actually pretty decent performance from Red-Headed Girl when she's upset that she's just killed her mum.
What about in terms of one instance of... This is the first time I've seen a priest when he's come across a possessed girl, and he starts reciting, "As I walk in the valley of the shadow of death." Right? Mm-hmm. When are Hollywood horror movies going to stop quoting Gangster's Paradise by Coolio?
I don't know. It's just, it fits so well, doesn't it?
It does.
Coolio's a genius.
Thank you. Well, rest in peace, Coolio.
Has to be used. Yeah, and now... Finally, with everyone dead, Red-Headed Girl gets put into a psych ward. And then we get the other performance, which I quite enjoyed. She's being interviewed by a psychologist. And she's obviously, like, distracted, keeps coming back to herself, and she acts very different than she was. Did you enjoy?
Is he the first guy that gets seanced, or whatever you want to call it?
I'm talking about right at the end of the movie.
Oh, then no.
The bit where when the red-headed girl is in the psych ward and he's asking her, like, where's your sister?
Oh, you're talking literally right at the end of the film.
Yes, literally right at the end of the film. We've gotten past everything.
What about it? Was it any good, are you saying?
I quite enjoyed her performance in this bit.
Yeah, I wasn't concentrating on stuff like that.
Okay, right. Well, I guess I'm done with this movie now.
She didn't bug me at all.
So unless you have something more to add, let's just move on.
Well, bottom place, I think that speaks for... as loud as it can, really, doesn't it?
Okay.
Yeah. In the British summertime, that's the law.
Moving on from that sexualized debacle of a review, we are now on to...
It was a sexual film.
Is it sexual? Yes. We're now going on to...
No legs.
As above, so below.
Yeah.
We actually have on our planchette right here. So.
I'd seen this one before. And
you decided to put yourself through that horror
just the
once
one
again.
time. And I remember it just not bugging me as much as other found footage films. And on this time I found somewhat of a level to enjoy it. So I got to ask myself some personal questions. It was
personal questions.
It was a deep delve inside myself.
Well, I think the reason this one as a found footage might be slightly more tolerable is because they've done it again in the setup where it's supposed to be part of a documentary. And so you get somewhat better camera work, I suppose.
Did we?
But we didn't. That was the other thing that bugged me. I was
I'm not sure about
if you're going
that.
to go with documentary style, I've watched documentaries. They are filmed better than this. So why have you made it so shaky yet again?
You're only going to ask me how to sum up this film.
Sorry, yes. How would you sum up this film? That was an off-the-cuff question.
Caves. Some Frenchies. Possible racist minority representation. And shaky cam.
Oh, so much shaky cam. Okay. So this film centres...
I'm intrigued as to where that's going to go.
Well, I know where it's going, don't I?
Oh, right, okay. I thought you'd be more like, oh, what's this possible racist representation we've got in here?
Oh, well, yeah, okay. I guess I'm somewhat intrigued, but we'll just...
So you're not intrigued?
See how that comes up.
I hate this chair. Can't get comfortable.
So this film centres around a really, really smart girl called Scarlett.
She's smart, but before we get to her telling us about how smart she is, at the beginning, it opens with her. I think it opens her. She's on a bus, in the public with other people, and she's saying into her phone that she's going to be invading Iran. So she's one woman invading Iran. I thought you might want to keep that to yourself rather than just blurting it out into your phone.
That's not the only dumb thing. She's also wearing, like, a full face of makeup with like smoky eye and everything. I was like, if you're going into Iran, which is obviously dangerous territory during this time, otherwise she wouldn't be
it's not now though,
saying
is it?
what she's saying.
Today, Iran's not dangerous.
And she's going in trying to get some stone or key or I don't know, some archaeological thing.
She is trying to get a stone, yes.
And I was like, this is the least undercover you could possibly be. Why the smoky eye? I don't know.
And then what I remember after that is I think same woman possibly going into some hole. She gets to where she wants to go in Iran, which is some people's house, and they've got a giant hole in their wall. So she decides to crawl into this hole, and she finds, catacomby stuff.
Okay.
Remember that?
No.
No, and there's like a tannoy over town in Iranian.
No idea. I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a hole in the wall, right, in a house.
Yeah.
You've already mentioned the stone. Remember the stone?
Yeah,
right.
But she's actually getting the key, the rose key.
Hang on. Right, there's a hole in the wall which you don't remember. Because when she's invading Iran, this one woman show, she gets to a house, as I said, gets into this wall. There's a voiceover tannoy in town. And when she gets into like the catacomby bit of this hole, she starts smashing the walls and stuff. And there's a goat's head, which is revealed.
Right.
And with the found footage camera, it scans quickly over the goat's head, and we can see that the goat's head has got loads of letters written all over it, loads of words. And I didn't rewind it because I know what I saw. And
is it sexual?
In capital letters, no, it's not. In capital letters, I saw the words POTT, and I was thinking that could only be one thing: Harry Potter was here. So is this movie? That's my first question. Is this movie set in the Wizarding world?
Maybe.
Because otherwise, why would there be POTT together?
Maybe that's why she's so smart, because she's been to Hogwarts.
Yeah, so I know what I saw, and I was asking myself that question. And, with the found footage cam, I would have to describe myself as exhilarated. To me, it was exhilarating.
I'm glad you
What
found
about
that.
to you?
Not so much.
Well, I just said it was exhilarating, so... Yeah, and now let's get into somewhat, right? We just mentioned Scarlett. She's smashed through a wall and stuff in Iran. Now she's back out of Iran after invading it, and she's on campus, right? She's being filmed by her dorm roommate or whatever, something like that.
The documentary maker.
And she keeps going on about my father was this, that, and the other.
She's got daddy issues.
Her name is Professor Scarlett Marlowe, right? She has got 16 degrees. She's fluent. She's fluent in 4 Earth languages and 2 dead languages. She's also a black belt in Krav Maga.
Oh my god.
So she's impressive, but why was I just asking myself...
Am I just imagining that she had a British accent as well?
Yeah, I think somewhat. Once again, you've interrupted me, Flo.
Me, Flo!
It's the British summertime. So what I mentioned, 16 degrees, all that stuff. All I'm thinking, though, is can she cook?
Oh.
And once again, a bit like when I started thinking about a certain someone in, Catholic schoolwear uniform, once she mentioned that, throughout the movie, that was at the beginning. And after that, I just kind of studied her performance and what she was doing, what the character was doing, and I just kept relating it back to how good she might end up being in the kitchen. That was where my mind went with this.
She ain't got time to cook. She's too smart.
Well, not with all that, which kind of renders her useless, really, doesn't it?
Okay, yeah. So I think the reason that she's doing this documentary is her search.
And like you mentioned, she does though have daddy issues, which is gonna work in the male species' favour. What is this for a documentary? Is this why she's being filmed?
Yes.
A documentary, right? I'd be more inclined to watch it if she was presenting a documentary about making sandwiches.
Oh my god, can we move on from this and get on with the movie?
If we must. Yeah, actually we will at this point. We will at this point because, previously I've mentioned the goat's head, the shaky cam, POTT. I just started thinking at that point, and it was at that point. Because remember I turned to you and I was like, oh, I just thought of something here. Then comes this. We've already got the POTT, Harry Potter was here. Then it's revealed that Scarlett is on the search for the Philosopher's Stone. So, is this film set in the Wizarding world? I think we have the answer.
Nicholas Flamel, who created it as
They've tried to go under the radar with that, but I could see right through it. Is the Philosopher's Stone actually the Harry Potter stone?
Yes.
So what's it doing in this then?
Well, J.K. Rowling's obviously taken the story of the Philosopher's
Did
Stone.
J.K. Rowling write this?
And put it into Harry Potter, not the other way round.
Are you saying this is based on the works of J.K. Rowling?
No,
the Wizarding
I'm
World?
not saying that. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying that the Philosopher's Stone is an idea that already existed, and J.K. Rowling took that and put it into her book.
And then they took it...
She didn't create it.
And then they took it from Rowling. Were you excited that this film was set in the Wizarding World?
Oh.
Does the Wizarding World need more found footage horror?
No. It does not.
I've heard it.
And also...
I've heard it from you now.
No. Okay. Can we move on?
You know Scarlet?
Yes, I know
the main
Scarlet.
girl. She then meets...
I'm starting to feel like I don't. Because...
She meets our main guy, George. And he's been to jail in Turkey.
Because of her.
He's been... because of her.
Because of her.
Yeah.
And his hobby is...
Translating.
No. Right. Oh my God. Would you just, for 1 second...
He's a translator though, isn't he?
His hobby is breaking into old churches and stuff and secretly fixing their broken mechanics to like make their bells ring. That's his hobby. Breaking into churches to fix things. And yes, she goes to find him because she can't, she speaks all his languages, but she can't translate this one stone she's found or something.
Aramaic. But luckily for her, George does speak Aramaic, so between them they've got the 7 languages.
And as you mentioned, he ended up in jail because of her. And so he's not too keen on her. And they've clearly got some like history relationship-wise.
He gets...
The bell that he was fixing starts ringing. And I guess in his joy that he's done such a good job, he agrees to help her translate.
Yeah, before that, he gets mad that she went to Iran by herself.
It's dangerous.
He's more mad because it's dangerous. And he's like, man, you're a lunatic. But to her, it ain't no thing. Just like speaking 16 languages and stuff, it ain't no thing to Scarlet.
Were you buying Scarlet as like a somewhat less gamified version of Lara Croft? Which is clearly what they were going for.
I was imagining her with some oven gloves and a baking tray. Now that Scarlet's recruited George to go and translate some Aramaic, when she takes him to the Aramaic stone place, when they start start reading out in English what this Aramaic translation is, I was like, wow, the Aramaics wrote some like dumb Twitter shit back in the day as well.
But the dumbest thing is he's translating it, but as he's translating it from Aramaic into English, somehow it rhymes perfectly. So they must have written it in Aramaic with the English translation in their head and been like, right.
When an Englishman
translates, it's going to be a poem.
Whatever it's supposed to be.
That is the dumbest shit. Like, this movie thinks that it's so freaking smart. It's like one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
What about the equation? Do you remember the equation, right? 741 was what we know now as 666. And it makes sense because hell is 741 foot beneath ground.
That's factual, that is.
Yeah.
That's where hell is, if you didn't know. And that means that the Philosopher's Stone is in fact halfway to hell.
And George is like, Scarlet, you know that I don't go underground. And they kind of like don't mention the reason why. So it's like, oh, what's happened to him underground before?
Well, maybe he's got PTSD from that Turkish prison, though.
He will go underground for Scarlet, though. And Scarlet will go underground because, to her, ain't no thing.
Yeah, nothing's as important as research.
Ain't no thing.
That's why she can put her ex-boyfriend into a Turkish
when she's
jail.
Down there, she's translating everything.
But hang on, because we're now, apparently, it was halfway to hell under the residence of Nicholas Flamel, the philosopher who created the stone. And that apparently is in Paris. So, as everyone knows, Paris sits atop a bunch of catacombs. So they're like halfway there to finding the stone. Just need to get into the catacombs.
Maybe they should get a magic broom. Then they'll be able to retrieve it. And one of those sticks. A wand. Yeah, a magic wand.
Yes, that's what they should do, honey.
That was missing from this.
This is when they need to recruit some Frenchmen to take them into the catacombs.
Isn't there a French poet in the... We would have done the French poet thing. Right. And hang on. There's a French poet in the underground as well.
What, the guy who just appears?
He resides in the underground.
Gives them like a little tip.
Reciting poetry.
And then just disappears again. The guy who looks kind of like a hippie goth type.
Yeah, he looks like a poet.
Very strange.
He's a poet.
But helpful, because how else would they go on? Did you notice, though, my favourite thing was, she speaks all these languages, including
What language was that
French.
one supposed to be?
Well, clearly English. She speaks all these languages, including French, and yet when she's trying to recruit the guys who are like, the naughty boys who explore the uncharted territories.
Wait a minute, are you talking about now we are in the Paris club?
Maybe.
In the club! And no, I need to find out what song was playing in the French New Wave Youth Club, because it was blowing my mind. In fact, I was sitting there thinking, this song is blowing my mind.
Well, why don't you do that?
We're in the French club. And the girl, Scarlett, she sees some... Remember I said, there are some Frenchies in this. Mm-hmm. Scarlett goes up to a couch for the Frenchies. Mm-hmm. And then, being French. But it turns out that they know the catacombs. And they can take them underground to lead them around and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but they get really excited about treasure.
Yes, this was the bit I was about to bring up.
So with treasure, is that what turns Frenchies on in the club? Is that the new wave French drip? Is that the Riz? In the French new wave club?
I don't know.
I think I've made myself quite clear.
Yeah. Okay. I think most people are excited by treasure. I don't know what you mean by that. But apparently, did you notice? She speaks French. We've seen her speak French.
So that is the Riz in the French New Wave Underground.
She's fluent.
Treasure.
And yet, when she was talking to the Frenchman, she was speaking in English.
Yeah. Even
though I felt like, well, it's one English person and a whole group of Frenchmen.
Maybe she's not a show-off.
You could have just spoken to them in French. And secondly, she then goes to them, yes, treasure. It's treasure. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, so all of a sudden she doesn't speak French anymore because she doesn't know how to get across the word treasure.
I was less thinking about that and more thinking, can she make a short crust pastry?
Oh my
God. After the French club New Wave drip, I was thinking to myself, oh, what does this movie need now? What would I want to see from this movie? And the answer was a Robert De Niro impression with some beatboxing in a van.
Oh no!
That was a good scene.
Painful. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, you've basically said enough to be said about that bit. But yes, that was quite some cinema to behold.
Is it actually not treasure? And is it actually Robert De Niro impressions and beatboxing, which is
but they've already got that,
New Wave drip and Riz?
Maybe. So the Frenchmen do in fact take Scarlett, George, and whoever her cameraman is down into the tunnels, and he also sorts them all out with a little torchlight camera headpiece.
I found out towards the end of the movie who actually the cameraman was, because I was also thinking during the movie, who is this geezer who's filming everything perfectly, even when they're under attack and stuff. It turns out it's the Robert De Niro guy. So the Robert De Niro impression guy was the cameraman.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering that.
Okay, well now we know. Now I know that.
Must have been a good impression of De Niro, because I was actually called him De Niro guy.
Oh yeah, also there was one weird point where Scarlett and George break into a museum and set fire to a stone to get some writing on it.
Philosopher's Stone?
No, it wasn't. It was like a stone tablet.
I remember a fight.
Okay.
There's a fight going to happen in the catacombs. I'm not sure who's attacking them or if it's just a fight in between the entire gang. And I thought we were going to see some sweet black belt Krav Maga moves.
Oh wait, was this
from Scarlett?
Was this when all of a sudden the police were there and they tried to raid them, and then all of a sudden is
that who they were kung fuing, the police?
I think so.
Wow.
They're running away from police.
Can he use kung fu against the police in Paris then?
Well, not legally.
Well, they seem to have. She knows 16 languages. I guess she knows the law. So if she's using her Krav Maga against them, then
Krav Maga.
Yeah, and also that's Israeli, isn't it?
Yes.
Krav Maga. So I wonder if one of the languages that she speaks is Yiddish, because then when she does whatever the Krav Maga moves are, she could be like "Oy vey" when she chops and stuff like that. If chops are involved. A bit like Hayya.
Like pork chops.
But if she doesn't speak Yiddish while demonstrating the Israeli arts of martial, then I'm not that impressed. But if she does put them together, then that's quite impressive. I didn't see that though.
I don't think she specified Krav Maga either. But yeah.
Then I'm impressed though. Now we're going for something that I've done before. A bit of potholing. Right? Spelunking.
That sounds disgusting.
Spelunking reminds you of Twin Peaks. They go, Agent Cooper goes spelunking.
Okay.
Have you spelunked?
I don't think so.
I've been known to spelunk.
Ugh.
Yeah, when I was in Cubs, because I was a Cub, I went spelunking. And they're just the one time only.
You're just going to keep saying that word without saying what the hell that means.
It was wet. It means potholing.
What's potholing? What are you talking about?
So, I think everyone else will understand what potholing.
What is it?
So, I went spelunking when I was a Cub.
What is spelunking?
Right? And
don't just say potholing.
I must admit, I was a lazy Cub. You know, you get badges when you've achieved stuff. I only had like the easiest ones that it took
Why
to
does that
get.
not surprise me?
And every time I got one of these easy to get badges, I'd come into Cubs, and like, the Cub leader would be like, "Oh, have you got your badge on your arm?" I'd be like, "Yeah, my mum sewed it on." He goes, "You know, you're never gonna get your sewing badge until you start sewing your own badges." And I was like, in my head, I was like, "What kind of a threat is that?" Like, oh no, I'm not gonna get my sewing badge. You know, they've got kind of a different threat, 'cause I don't care about sewing.
You're a bad Cub.
Yeah, there's always one Cub who's got his sleeves got like, it's just one big badge. I always despised
That would have been me.
those people.
Now you married
Yeah.
one.
only like one thing in the Cubs, and that was the tuck shop.
So are you going to explain what spelunking is, or are you just going to keep talking about Cubs?
It's when you go underground tunneling with a helmet on and a light.
What, you did that with Cubs?
Yeah.
Were you in the sewers or something?
No, it wasn't sewers. We were out in like in the country, and there was some spelunking to be done.
Was there a point to it, or
So
is
we
it
spelunked.
just
Well, yeah, I guess
for the sake of spelunking?
I was getting my spelunking badge, I suppose.
There's a spelunking badge.
Well, I guess it ties in with other stuff that you have to do along with spelunking to get a particular together badge. I probably had it and then didn't sew it on because I didn't have my sewing badge. All the other Cubs sewed theirs on.
Well, I've never spelunked.
I was a rebel.
But I have been to the Paris catacombs.
There's a weird cult down there. I mean, they walk past those
in the
people.
movie now,
Yeah,
we're actually talking about the movie again. You're not talking about spelunking
yeah,
with
so there's a
cults.
cult down there.
There is a cult that we gloss over.
And there's also an argument about which way we should go. I wasn't expecting that, because they get lost.
Yeah, well, it turns out there's a shortcut, but none of the catacomb Frenchies want to go that way because no one returns.
You're calling them the Frenchies as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one returns.
Good on you.
There's something bad about this particular tunnel. Let's go the long way round. And they tell the story then about a guy who basically lived in the catacombs for like 5 years, and then 2 years ago he went down that one said tunnel.
Oh, the missing man.
And he disappeared. He's never been seen again.
How long has he been missing for? To say 2 years?
2 years.
I mean, what a day to come back. With all this going on.
So
should have stayed missing.
They do actually go down said tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they start
might go missing
seeing
for
weird
2 years.
things, like George's piano is down there.
Oh, George is a pianist as well as he is, much as an Aramaic translator.
And a bell fixer. And yeah. He's just as smart as Scarlett.
Not quite. He hasn't got the 16 degrees and
Maybe he does. We don't know.
2 dead languages. You kind of like trying to say how smart you are, but then you say, oh, I took a lot of time to learn 2 languages that aren't even in existence anymore, so it's completely useless to everybody. It's not
if you're a scholar,
of your time.
But, clearly she used it for this, didn't she?
No, do you know what I remember? And it was a surprise to me, given their temperament, was once they get lost, the French, they start having a real hissy fit.
Is that the racism?
No.
No?
No, it's not. But, there's also... There is a black character in this, and the first time I really remembered him, in fact, this is the first time I recall seeing him, he was in trouble, basically. They're spelunking, and he was, tied at the waist with a rope.
He the one who hurt his hand.
And just swinging helplessly. Swaying in the caves.
Actually, I do recall
And I was thinking, help this man. No one was rushing to help him.
Even I was like, right, so they've got a cast full of white people with one black man, they've just made him the most useless one.
Well, let's not quite go into that yet.
Stupid.
But I said this film was a deep delve inside myself.
Okay.
Thinking about it, right? And you know me well, so you won't be surprised to hear, obviously, that I called them the Frenchies. You also called them the Frenchies, right? I've mentioned there's a black character. Thing about me is I flat out refuse to learn the name of any minority character or white character whose first language isn't English. That's just me. And I was thinking, is that a problem, or is it just, who really cares?
It's
But you
somewhat
know
baffling.
me. You know me well, so you won't be surprised. I thought you wouldn't be surprised to hear that. You know, even in our own movie Heathen, we pretty much, employed
you don't know
a cast whose most people's first language isn't English.
Right.
And I'm not even going to bother to learn their characters' names either, because that's just the kind of guy I am. No, I'm just freeing my soul here.
I don't know where you're going with this, because you know the character names.
It's just confession. Confession is good for the soul, and that's something about me that I will never change, okay?
But you know all their names.
I think I've just made it clear that I don't know their names. Right? Just Scarlett and George, because they're white and their first language, in a multitude of languages that they speak, is English.
Okay. Yeah. So we're down in the catacombs. Did you like the bit where they have to crawl over all the bones?
I don't quite recall possibly the crawling over the bones, but I do recall bones, obviously, because this is a catacombs movie. What is a catacombs movie without bones? But most of what stuck in my head about being down there was the bat phone. Because in the caves there was a phone. Now, I only know one phone in TV history that was in a cave, and that was the bat phone. Scarlett answers it. I was half expecting Robin to be on the other side. And it's got me thinking, is this a crisscross Wizarding World with DC's Dark Knight franchise together? Because it's far too coincidental that there's a phone in the cave in this, and the bat phone exists. I started thinking, is the Penguin behind all of this now? That's somewhere where they could have gone.
Well, the phone is there, much like the piano is there, and a car shows up and stuff. It's like all these things from each person's past that they're being spooked with. But I didn't really understand how that fit with the Philosopher's Stone story.
You mentioned the phone again, and you said Scarlett. Scarlett answers it. And
I didn't.
The bloke on the other end of the phone, she doesn't understand the language that he's speaking. It's just a bunch of gobbledygook to her. So I'm thinking, does she really speak all these languages? Because we already know she doesn't know Aramaic. Now she doesn't know what the demon's talking on the other side of the phone. I'm not impressed. So we mentioned that there are certain people whose names I just don't memorize. So once again, the black character's in trouble again. We've already seen him swinging helplessly from his waist.
I think this is the crawling over the bones.
Now he's slid down his rope too fast, and he's burnt off all of his skin. He essentially has no hands anymore. And once again, much like when he was just swaying there, people weren't quick to come and help him. And it really kind of begs the question: Does a brother belong underground for a spot of spelunking?
Oh my god!
I'm not sure he does, and you can quote me on that.
Oh my god!
I've got my brothers; they know who they are, and let me tell you, they like it above ground. That's where they're comfortable. So was this movie racist in representation because they've got the black guy who probably shouldn't be spelunking, just messing up at every turn, or is it just an accurate portrayal?
I'm pretty sure as well that he gets...
That's what I started thinking during this film.
Can I say the get stuck bit?
Oh, you can say what you want, that baby.
I'm pretty sure as well that he's the one who gets stuck. When I asked you about if you remember the bone crawling bit, one of them gets caught.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Crawling over bones, and I feel like it might have been him. And then he's just doing this at the bones, Nothing. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. Also, at some point in their exploration of these
offensive?
tunnels, probably, they come across a body that they know has been shut in these caves for over 500 years, and yet someone still feels the need, probably Scarlett, to go, he's dead.
Yeah. So she's got 16 degrees.
Genius.
6 languages, 2 of them dead. But like I say, it takes triple confirmation that this 700-year-old person's dead.
Oh, it's...
like I said, multiple people ask that question as well.
He is so stupid.
Not just one. Yeah.
And they also have to go under some water tunnel thing, and they come up on the other side, and they've actually found finally what I think they've been looking for the whole time.
Stone.
Yeah, there's a treasure room, which is where the Frenchmen go. They're like, oh, there's gold. And then we've got her going, because they're focusing on her, but they're in the background doing exactly that, looking at the gold. And she's, again, going through some story or other.
By the way, the lost 200-year-old man is down there.
He's
like...
He's not 200 years old, it's been 2 years, you dumb.
Oh, 2 years,
2
right?
years,
Not 200.
yeah, that guy's
would
shown
have
up.
Would have been scary if he was 200
He's already
years
shown
old,
up earlier though, and
wouldn't it?
did you notice I think he was doing an impression of
I just did the impression.
Count Orlok, because every time you go over to him, he's like, what was that?
Once they get the Philosopher's Stone and all that.
Yeah, they get the stone.
Once they start running around again, Scarlet comes across a mural now.
That's where she found the
She
stone.
starts teaching in front of it, though.
Yeah.
She's teaching in front of it.
Yeah, this is what.
But
so the stone
what I'm
is
thinking
in the
is,
mural.
can she follow a recipe?
Probably not.
It's
No.
disappointing, really.
So yeah, as you said, she follows this mural thing, explains it all, and then she's like, "Oh, here's the stone," plucks it out, and then she realizes, "Oh shit, the Frenchmen who are going for the gold."
Stop right there. With that little piece of music, we now come to our true or false portion of the show. And yes, per review now, during one of the movies, the true or false portion will rear its beautiful head. So I have one question for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Now, as we all know, and you can quote me on this, a brother does not belong underground for a spot of spelunking. But they do belong in the cosmos. So my question to you, remember it's true or false. This is only true or false. My question to you is, true or false?
Yeah, okay.
Frank Bruno was the first black man on the moon.
Who the hell is Frank Bruno?
Who is Frank Bruno?
Yes, who's
Heavyweight
Frank
champion of the
Bruno?
world, beloved national treasure, and possible spacefarer. True or false?
False.
I'm afraid it's true.
Okay.
As I mentioned, he was heavyweight champion of the world, beloved national treasure, and spacefarer. And now you know he was also the first black man on the moon. Do you know how he got there? He and Wesley Snipes, Wesley Snipes, they built a rocket, put it in the sea, and sailed to the moon. And Wesley Snipes was therefore the second. He followed Frank on to the moon. And that concludes our true or false portion of I Know What You Watched Last Week.
Which, by the way, you put in at the dumbest point. You should have brought this up way earlier. Because what I was about to say has nothing whatsoever to do with black people, space, ships, or Wesley Snipes.
That's the point. The true or false portion comes when you least suspect it.
Okay, so we've been through that fun little interlude. Now back to what I was saying.
Cut that fun little interview just because we just need to go into the next bit.
So back to what I was saying. Just as the Frenchmen get this great door off its hinges, Scarlet realises it's all a trap.
Oh, was it? Mm-hmm. I was just thinking about
the gold
sandwiches.
was supposed to be like a trap that if you go for that, you miss the actual
So there's
Philosopher's
gold
Stone.
and the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder it's worth going down there then.
Well, that's how she
Is that what
convinced
that
them.
guy
Remember,
was-
treasure.
Is that
treasure.
Is that what that guy was doing? Of course I remember that. I just said, was that the French New Wave drip? Was that the French New Wave Riz?
Okay,
I think it was.
so this now causes the ceiling to collapse.
Hang on though.
You recall?
Scarlet has brought someone back from the dead previously.
Not yet.
Oh.
No. So the ceiling's collapsed. We get another instance of pure smartness because someone's crawling out of the rubble and someone asks, "Are you okay?" So, well, no, I'm not bloody okay. The ceiling's just collapsed on me, but actually I lie because they were perfectly fine. Literally no injury sustained whatsoever from being under a crumbling roof, which makes sense.
Is the missing guy freaking everybody out yet?
He's already been and done that, yeah.
So he's already had that fight. He's been aggressive.
Yeah.
He's been aggressive.
He's
and stuff.
clearly like been influenced by something whilst he's been missing for 2 years, hasn't he?
And is this when? Because he kills somebody, doesn't he? Or makes them worse for
Yeah.
wear. And then doesn't Scarlet then bring someone back from the dead?
Okay, so...
How does she do that?
Would you stop jumping to that bit?
She didn't mention that when she was listing her
You're very
achievements
excited,
at the
aren't you?
beginning.
No, well... Someone was hurt in this crumbling ceiling. They got a little cut on their arm. Yeah. And so Scarlet takes out the Philosopher's Stone and, like, grates it and rubs the stuff into her wound, and that heals it. Yeah? You recall this?
I remember bringing someone from the dead, but I don't remember the process.
Then I think crazy missing guy, as you said, he, like, stabbed someone in the neck or some sort of thing. And one of the Frenchmen is like, fix her, use your stone. And,
Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
Right. That is magic.
And this time she goes, oh, it won't work because it doesn't bring people back from the dead. Is that what you're talking about then? Because the Philosopher's Stone doesn't do that, so she can't.
I don't know anything that the Philosopher's Stone does, if I'm honest.
Oh my god, you watched this film more than once, and you don't remember anything.
Well, I was kind of caught up in the French New Wave drip.
But the reason I specifically remember this is because now, at some point, someone else gets injured.
Well, what I recall next about all this injury going on is they've tied the black guy to the wall with a chain and left him in the basement. They're like, are you down there? And he's like, yeah, I'm still here. And then the next thing you know, he's dead because they've chained him to a wall. What the hell was that about? You know, all the white people, they just started smashing around all this 500-year-old rock as well, didn't they, to get to where they wanted to go, not giving a damn about how old it was.
No.
Yeah, god damn it.
They just want that stone.
Yeah, no wonder everyone hates them.
Now someone else is injured, and Scarlett goes to do the same thing, and now I'm so confused, because I swear at this point...
Man in the fire car.
Yeah, that bit. But hang on, we'll get to that in a second, because this bit, Scarlett tries to heal him with a stone,
Actually was Man in the fire
like she's
car.
already done, and all of a sudden she's going like, oh wait, I got it all wrong. This isn't the right stone. Did you get that? So
there's more than one Philosopher's Stone? Or she just picked up a random crag?
She just picked up a fake stone. But then how did it work before to heal the arm?
Scarlett?
Yes.
So she's been banging on about this thing forever. And then when it finally comes to it, she's grabbed the wrong stone.
Yes,
well, I
but
certainly
the
wouldn't
stone
trust her in
also
the kitchen,
worked.
then.
And now it's not working. So I don't know how she's come up with this. And then also, we've spent like a good half an hour going deeper and deeper into the catacombs, right? But then, within 5 seconds, she's managed to go all the way back to where the stone was found.
Think of how gutting it must be, though. You're about to stick it to Harry Potter himself. Look what I've got. The Philosopher's Stone. Then you realise you bought the wrong stone.
How is that sticking it to Harry Potter?
Well, doesn't he want it as well?
No.
That's the whole point of that's what it's called, the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah, so that the bad guy doesn't get it.
Harry Potter's not a bad guy, though, is he?
No.
So as long as he gets it, then it's all right.
Yeah.
I think I'm starting to understand the wizarding world a bit more.
Yes,
Thank you
so
to
dumb.
As Above, So Below. Now, while this has been going on, Robert De Niro, the cameraman, he's been very good at just getting all the action and staying focused. You know, he hasn't let anything put him off. A guy that's been missing for 200 years, whatever it might be, 2 years, doesn't really matter. There's a long time to be missing either way, right? The people just dying left, right and centre. Supernatural entities, it seems.
Yeah.
But he's getting it all on digital.
Speaking of supernatural entities, you mentioned the fire car.
Yeah.
So along with the piano, the phone, there's a car, and someone gets into it, it explodes into fire, and disappears into just his legs poking up out of the ground. Do you remember that bit? It was so funny.
No.
He gets into the car, it explodes, and then all of a sudden it's just his feet coming out of the ground where the car was.
Does Scarlett try to resurrect him as well?
They tried to pull him out, but you know, he's up to his knees in dirt.
So she can't...
Upside down.
So she can't fix that. Not impressed again, really.
And then finally, I think they're insinuating that now Scarlett herself is the Philosopher's Stone, because George is like on death's door, and she just puts her like hands on his wounds and kisses him.
Does he come like so and he's like the princess back in the day?
Exactly.
Because this is, you know, because he doesn't speak 2 dead languages, does he? Is Aramaic
Maybe he does.
dead?
I think so.
Okay, he speaks at least 1 then, but that's 2-1 to her.
We don't know. He might be big smart.
So of course he is the princess to be kissed and waked up.
Exactly.
I like that touch actually.
Yeah. And then, you know, they emerge.
But did you mention that they've decided to jump down a hole to escape, and they land on a bunch of rocks and like should have broken their legs and stuff?
They keep doing that multiple times because they keep going deeper and deeper, don't they?
Once they get outside, Scarlett's back on camera again, and she's like, "I'm not in it for the money," so we know she's got a true heart as well.
But she smashed up all those relics, crumbled the whole catacombs, and killed everyone, essentially.
Classic white people behaviour. You know, is this movie racist to white people as well? That's what I want to ask. That's what we should all be asking.
A documentary.
You know, and they haven't
Actually,
they portrayed the Frenchies pretty on point with the hissy fits and stuff, so kudos to that, I suppose. You know, you can't get that wrong really, can you? But yeah, no spelunking for some.
Right.
Cosmos, though, it's up for grabs.
Spelunking over. Moving on to our top spot.
Yeah, I'd only seen it As Above, So Below one time. I'd also only seen the Crazies one time. And I thought that I liked it, but I never watched it again, obviously, because I thought I didn't like it enough, possibly. And also, I'm not that big into zombies.
Well, my question for you, off the cuff, is how would you sum up this movie?
See if I can get through this. It's a small town, population 1,260. And in this small town, we got ourselves a small town sheriff who took himself a small town girl, and they got married. Now, people in the small town, they are simple folk, and they enjoy the simple things like barbecue, fishing, farming, hunting, guns, football, guns, and baseball. Did I mention our small town sheriff, Sheriff Oliphant? Well, he took himself a small town girl, and you could be sure as heck they're gonna have themselves a small town baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sirree. Baseball and zombies.
So these.
I think that pretty much sums up this film.
And the small town sheriff, you mentioned his surname. The actor is Timothy
Sheriff
Oliphant.
Oliphant. He's somewhat typecast, isn't he? He's a sheriff in this. He's a small town sheriff. Then he's a sheriff in Deadwood, and he's also got his own sheriff show, Justified.
Huh.
Yeah, he's Mr. Sheriff.
Well, my first experience of Oliphant is when he's playing a red herring psycho.
Yeah.
So.
And he does a great job in an episode of Sex and the City that he's in as well. Unicorn woman. Yeah. Yeah, so that was my thing. And then, the first thing that I remember after that is Bill burns down a house after the baseball incident. I thought the baseball incident, when I watched this again, was that came about a third way through the movie, but it just comes at the beginning, doesn't it? Because this is a small town.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I don't remember chronologically very much
baseball,
that happens
and
here.
that farmer-looking dude walks onto the baseball diamond with a gun, and Sheriff Oliphant has to confront him.
That's it.
Yeah, it's like the big thing of the movie. That.
Yeah, and
the big centerpiece.
Sheriff is like, oh, he was drunk, he wasn't thinking straight. But then his wife says he's been sober for like however many years. So there's starting to be questions already.
Turns out he's a crazy.
He's a crazy.
He is a crazy.
Yeah, and that's because a plane crashed. That's it. The plane crashed. It had a biological weapon on it, and it's infected the water supply for this town.
Yeah, it does. So you're just going to skip over mostly of the baseball scene, which, I said was the big set piece of this film when they were advertising. It was like the baseball scene. That's a small town pastime.
Well, I don't know what more there is to say about it, really.
You know how Sheriff Oliphant is a small town sheriff? This is population 1,260. We don't really get much time to learn about these characters. So when Bill, the town crazy, another town crazy, goes and burns down someone's house, I'm like, whose house he just burnt down? I don't really care. And the house is made of wood, because in a small town, they don't have bricks yet. So
they probably all built their own houses.
It's cost them dearly. Bill just burnt down this wooden house. He's confronted by Sheriff Oliphant and Sheriff Oliphant's wife, small town wife, and he's kind of acting drunk, like really drunk or something like that. And she clocks on, Oliphant's wife is like, oh my God, Bill, you shouldn't have. She's clocked on that he's burnt down the house as a crazy.
Okay, yeah. Oh, with his wife and kids in it.
Yeah, that's who's burning, yeah. But I don't care about that wife and kid because I haven't taken time to be introduced to them. They're just a random mother and child. Bill's been locked up now, he's in a holding cell. And Sheriff Oliphant says he's giving me the same look as Rory, the baseball field guy. Mm-hmm. All right, so he's suspicious of him. He's turned into a crazy, obviously. Yeah. And in the meantime, Sheriff Oliphant's also had to go to the mayor. He's got trying to warn him to turn the water off because it's contaminated. There's also been like a dead body in like a swampy thing. Maybe just that's in the water as well. There's a dead body in there. So it could also be zombie water. Right, but the mayor says, no, I'm not turning the water off. So the water stays on. We go back, and now it's definitely Zombie Bill in this holding cell.
Right, yeah.
And next thing is like the town is under surveillance. Keep seeing.
So they're going to, government has to step in and quarantine because, they know what's happening. It was their weapon.
We know it's under quarantine, under surveillance even more because Sheriff Oliphant, down his road, he's noticed a suspicious black van, which when he approaches it, it drives away. And Oliphant, he's got a very busy schedule, hasn't he? He's here, there, and everything. He's at baseball.
That's what you get when you're a sheriff.
He's at the wooden house. He's at the mayor's. He's back at home, right? Then he's in the morgue or whatever.
Yeah.
Then he's back at home.
Yeah, it's incredible. The sheriff doing sheriff stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. The morgue, though.
That's where he always gets his nuts chopped off by her thingy, isn't it?
Well, he walks in there, into the morgue, and there are some supposed corpses, and one of them, and at least one of them, has both his mouth and his eyes stitched up. But I think he's trying to say something, mouth something to Sheriff Oliphant.
Yeah, he's not dead.
And then does Sheriff Oliphant not uncut his mouth or something like that? Yeah. And then the stitched up eye guy who's just had his mouth open is like, behind you. But I'm like, you've got your eyes stitched up, so how can you tell that there's,
I remember
there's
the
a zombie
mouth
behind?
being stitched, but I don't recall the eyes being stitched. I must have missed that.
Eyes were stitched.
Because, I think like the morgue attendant or something is a crazy, and he's been stitching alive people up as well. But
then he comes at Sheriff Oliphant with a bone saw. Which scatters across the floor and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Almost chops his nuts off.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
But the deputy shows up to step on the cable before he can get chopped.
Deputy Marshal. See what they've done there? Deputy Marshal.
Tried to confuse me.
Smart. So now he's got to get back home after his busy day. So he's at home again. And now we're definitely under surveillance because they're at home at night, Sheriff Oliphant and his small town wife in the small town.
Yeah.
And they notice someone standing outside. And when they go out there, we notice it's like the National Guard or something like this. Mm-hmm. And, they're just shooting people in the head at random. It seems they're like doing what they want. They're rounding people up.
Okay, yeah.
And
I don't think it escalates that quickly.
Putting the whole town on quarantine.
They're testing everybody's temperature. The ones without a temperature are allowed to be evacuated, which is the group that Sheriff is in. But his wife is running a bit of a fever, so they think that she's infected. But we found out that she's actually pregnant and has been running a temperature because of this. Yeah, so we don't know if she's infected or pregnant. And when people are trying to escape, they're being shot. And then some yokel decides he's going to run his truck through the fence so a bunch of people can escape again. Yeah? And this bit where people are getting shot as well. But in the meantime, Timothy Oliphant, he's like, well, I'm not leaving my wife or my town because a small town sheriff has to care about where they're sheriffing. So he's like, I'm staying and I'm going to go look for my wifey.
Because this is a small town, it's easy for Sheriff Oliphant to know everyone's name. He knows everyone in town.
Well, yeah.
There's not that many people. When he gets separated from his wife and he's walking along with some other man, and the man is like, oh, I've been separated from my wife. Like, it's kind of like, yes, kind of thing. To the point where Tim Oliphant's like, how about you stop asking me why I can leave my wife, and I won't ask you why you can.
Yeah.
Well, he's free now, isn't he?
Wait, if we got separated, would you just be like, see you later?
No, I'd be like Thomas the Oliphant.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sheriff, I run this town.
So Timothy is coming to find her. And in the meantime, because that guy with his truck broke the fence down, now like the quarantine safety is all ruined. So they're all being told we have to leave. And the wife has been tied to a gurney with a bunch of other people in a quarantine tent.
Like you kind of just alluded to there, Sheriff Oliphant, he's on a mission now.
Yeah.
Yeah. A small town mission. That'll take a big heart and a lot of faith. But heck, if that ain't the small town way, then I don't know what is. Do you have faith?
Well, it's Timothy Oliphant, so yes. I do have faith.
So yeah, the ladies are strapped down underneath some giant tent.
And there's like some young girl that small town wife knows who's also strapped down.
Yeah, and thus ever, a zombie comes in with a pitchfork.
Yeah. And this bit, again, it could have been pretty cool.
This is also a centerpiece, yeah.
But I don't feel like they made the most of it. As much as this was by far my favourite film of the week, I still feel like it could have done so much better. And this
Film of the week? Wow, MOV.
This is...
Johnny Drama territory.
This is the genre that freaks me out the most. Remember?
Yeah, what is
I've
it with of course I remember. Yeah. You said most things to me multiple times, yeah. But zombies is not one of my favourites. Barely ever put zombie movies on, do I?
No, you don't. But it's normally the thing that freaks me out. And especially in this kind of thing, a biological weapon, where people are going crazy and killing people. It should be freaky, but it wasn't.
I haven't really liked the modern day zombies, though. Modern day zombie movies. This is a remake of, obviously,
You don't
George
like the
Romero.
running zombie?
Yeah, I guess it was cool for 5 minutes, and it's like, oh, there's a running zombie now.
The first time I saw the fast zombies, I was like, oh, shit.
Slow zombies every time for me.
But yeah, so Pitchfork guy's there, and he's about to pitchfork... Is it the younger one, or is it wifey?
One of them, whatever.
I don't know. And Timothy obviously shows up, or I don't know, shoots him. So they're safe.
No,
and reunited.
I mean, the last thing he does is he goes to Timmy Oliphant's wife, and that's when
Yeah.
Timmy Oliphant comes in and blows him away. Yeah, you know, the small town vibe. What's his name again? Deputy Marshal.
Yeah.
He's now with Timothy Oliphant and the wife, and he's like, he thinks he's sick. He thinks that he might be
Yeah.
infected, and we get Sheriff Oliphant. He turns to him and tells him in no uncertain terms, "You're not getting sick." Deputy Marshals were like, "I hope you're right, Chief. They ain't much, but I had plans. They ain't much." You know, and I bet there were kind of small town plans, like a little place of my own, made of bricks, so it's zombie proof
and real roof.
Yeah,
Incredible.
the emotional heart of the dialogue is really what. Like I said, I thought I liked this movie, even though I watched it one time, and when I'm watching it again, this movie was really stupid. Really, really stupid.
I was actually really enjoying most of this watch. It wasn't particularly scary. It wasn't mind blowing. It wasn't anything.
No, I don't dislike it.
I enjoyed our
it.
watch of it.
Yeah,
I would say.
I wasn't disappointed I watched it a second time, but I wouldn't necessarily be going back to it again unless it was to just laugh out loud.
Well, in that case, you got As Above, So Below.
No, but there's no small town vibe in that. You know, it's the French New Wave drip.
Okay.
The Riz. Yeah, now it kind of looks like Our World and Heathen Part 2 are just like flames all over the floor, vapour and stuff like this. And there are some town hicks who've got a pickup truck. And like I say, it's a small town. They enjoy simple things like barbecue and hunting. And they're hunting, which I've got to imagine are still live people, most probably, rather than zombies. And they're just shooting anyone in the head who they see and loading them up on the back of their truck. And Sheriff Oliphant, he sees this along with Marshall.
I don't really know why. I don't get it.
Well, there's not much to do in a small town. So when you're just left to, you know, instead of hunt deer or whatever, and now you've got free rein to hunt humans, just go and do it.
Yeah, it's kind of like...
It's a zombie apocalypse. Anything's going now.
We have seen, like, zombie comedy type movies, as in not we, but the world has seen where
plural,
people are, like, hunting zombies for fun.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's not a new concept.
I think it's possibly The Walking Dead just killed the zombies dead for me. I'm like, it's so mainstream now. Like, oh, zombies! You know, it's the way that whole horror's infected mainstream sensibilities now. How many seasons does Walking Dead have? Something like 16 or 17. I was done after 2.5. Like, I can't watch this anymore. It's the same old.
I never actually really saw it, so...
Yeah, don't bother, is what I would say. Somehow now, after they see... Somehow now... I don't remember how, but Timothy Oliphant and his wife, the small town girl, they're reunited now.
Yeah.
They're back together. Oh yeah, of course, because he shot to the zombies and now they're stuck together. And do they have a daughter? Is it their daughter or is it just a friend that knows some girl? No, it's just
that young girl.
Well, the young girl has a squeeze, right? A squeeze
baseball player
who she wants Timothy Oliphant and everyone else to go and find so that they can make sure he's safe. Timothy Oliphant, I believe, is like, we don't really have time for that. But then Timothy Oliphant's wife turns to him in a small town way and says, "You had time for me." And it makes Timothy Oliphant think about his small town ways.
Don't be selfish.
And they go and get him. Scotty, his name is, but Scotty doesn't last long. Instead, him and his mum get flame grilled. It's like Burger King out in the field.
Yeah, the army is really not taking any chances now, are they?
No. So you'll get flame grilled. Right here.
Me?
In front of Sheriff Oliphant. After they get flame grilled, the team, they manage to capture a soldier in a barn.
Yeah.
One of the geezers walking around in his gas
mask. Oh yeah,
because
it's a local lad.
Mm.
And Timothy's like, how can you do this? Like killing your old neighbours and stuff. And he's like, I didn't want to, but they made me.
It's orders.
I mean, is the army, isn't it?
He's just taking orders. But, you know, they've got to let him go for some reason.
So that he can vouch that there's no one there.
That's it, yeah. So Timothy Oliphant says, look, I'm a sheriff. He's a deputy. She's pregnant. Don't say anything. Because, of course, that would be what a trained soldier would do. Right? Oh, I can't tell anyone now, really, can I?
Yeah, but don't forget, this is, as you keep saying, a small town movie. And it's a local boy. Just because he's in the army, he still has to put his small town first. So he's got to do what he's told. So
you're saying he hasn't been quite brainwashed by his government yet, then? Okay, interesting. Turns out the deputy marshal is coming in handy now.
Right.
Because there's not much of a way to get around in a small town which is under quarantine.
Clamped all the cars,
but there's an old police car in some kind of garage. Deputy marshal's working on it. He's a bit of a mechanic. That's impressive. You know, I but I can't fix a car.
Well, isn't that just another, like, small town American pastime?
That is a small town way.
Mechanicizing. 14-year-old lads, they're fixing cars and they're going out hunting, fishing,
Yeah, mechanics.
Wholesome stuff.
Impressive. What they are doing is fixing cars.
Yeah.
But what they're not doing is coming up with the greatest horror epic of all time. So we all have our strengths. One's more important than the other, obviously. But yeah, still impressive. So he's coming handy now. And there's a cool bit that comes after this. Right, I'm not sure what happens straight after the mechanic scene.
That's
but
right,
Oliphant gets stabbed in the hand and it ends up in being a pretty good kill.
Right, okay, yeah, he gets...
Because he uses that stabbed hand.
Yeah, he does. He's stabbed in the hand. He somewhat pulls the knife out of, like, the ground or whatever.
Because the guy from the baseball diamond that Sheriff Oliphant killed, it's his wife and son who are now turning into crazies. Mm-hmm. And they already confronted Sheriff Oliphant at the beginning of the movie. She gives him a slap, doesn't she? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so now they're zombie-like, and they're attacking Sheriff Oliphant and his wife, yeah.
Yeah, and it's because they're getting to his wife that he manages to find the chutzpah to pull his knifed hand out of the ground, and he then just goes like, wha-chonk, knife in hand.
And then luckily for him, as he's about to be off by the sun, Deputy Marshal's outside a curtained window and just happens to know that that's definitely a crazy zombie son who's going to be attacking my sheriff now. I better blow him away through this very small part in the window.
You've reminded me now, because I was thinking at this point in the film, I was like, where is the deputy? Because like the scuffle and noise has been going on for ages. The deputy was just right behind them. But yeah, I mean, I guess he's done the right thing.
After that happens, Deputy Marshal, he starts to be a little bit paranoid. But he goes riding in this new car that he's fixed with Sheriff Oliphant and his wife. But all of a sudden, there's a helicopter.
There's a heli! Yeah.
There's a helicopter, and it's state-of-the-art.
You can't get away from that.
Unless you go and hide in a car wash. Then it can't detect you. Now we get the car wash scene.
The car wash scene.
Yes, the car wash scene where you can't be detected. Basically, Becca gets hung. The girl who I thought was their daughter.
Oh, she's hung too?
She's hung as well, just like Loverboy was hung in Origin of Evil.
Yeah, they're all in this car and it starts going through the actual wash cycle.
But
there are crazies in
terrified of the car wash when I was a child.
Were you? I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Terrified.
But I don't really understand, because they're definitely insinuating that this is a biological infection type thing that makes you crazy, hence the crazies. But it's not actually making you any less physically, susceptible to human stuff. But these crazies are in there with the car wash stuff.
Yeah, they haven't left their post.
And the people in the car, who you'd still think are relatively safe, they're all freaking the hell out. You're like, oh my God.
Well, one of them smashes through the window, doesn't it? A crazy smashes through the window.
Could you do that? I mean, I've never attempted to, but can a person just punch through a car window?
I don't know.
I would have thought they were stronger than that.
When Becca gets hung, in the car wash, the car blows up then because the helicopter shoots it. Mm-hmm. So they've got nowhere to get around again. Mm-hmm. So they're on foot. And they notice the black van from surveillance time in Timothy Olyphant Street is about to come down the road. And Timothy's like, we're going to hijack this van. But before he can put his plan into motion, Deputy Marshal's kind of losing his mind now. He gets the road spikes, throws him out there, and the van just topples and topples and topples till it eventually comes to a stop, and an agent gets out, confronted by both Oliphant and Marshall.
And that's when we found out it was a biological weapon.
Yeah.
And, Timothy Olyphant wants to use him to get them all out.
So I just want to talk.
But Deputy Marshall's not having any of that. And he shoots him. So that's really helpful. Now you've got nothing.
Timothy Olyphant does walk up to Marshall and he goes, I said I just wanted to talk. And he's like, you did talk. And scene. As we know now, like, there was already paranoia from Marshall. And Sheriff Oliphant then decides, I'm going to take charge of the rifle that you've been carrying. It's heavy. Just let me carry it. Mm-hmm. And he thinks he got away with it. But no, Sheriff Marshall then pulls out a little pistol. He's like, I think I'll be taking the rifle, Sheriff. And he makes him essentially march in front of him for the rest of the way.
So I guess this is supposed to be going into some kind of like psychological thriller territory, because who's infected, who's not, who can you trust, who's violent, because even Timothy Olyphant's acting a bit crazy at certain points, isn't he? So you're like trying to figure out who's sick. The only person we know is definitely not sick, because again, the guy that was shot by Deputy Marshall, he said that quarantine period lasts like 2 days or something, and the wife it's been more than like 3 days, so we know she's fine.
While they're being marched down the road, at some point, Sheriff Oliphant decided that he's had enough of this treatment, and he's like, I'm going to go and confront him, to which his wife warns him again. He goes and does it anyway. And, you get the classic, just put the gun down. Put the gun down. And Marshall's already mentioned that he feels like he might be infected.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's not going to pull the trigger. But Oliphant, disarms him, knocks him to the ground, takes the gun, takes back control. And as Oliphant turns around and rejoins his wife, we just got Sheriff Marshall on the floor, and he's like, hey, Sheriff, remember a couple of summers ago when I caught that big catfish? Say, how big do you think that thing was? And Oliphant's like, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 pounds. Yeah, it was a big son of a bitch, wasn't it? Small town Hollywood writing scene.
Yeah.
So, Sheriff, excellent.
And now they're friends again.
Excellent stuff. So he realises now, he is infected. We've got that now because he's reminiscing about past times that were, meaningful to him. And he begs, he's like, can I just walk with you? Until they get to this bit where they have to get, where the National Guard is, essentially. And they get to that place.
Yeah.
And now it's nighttime. They're bedding down in, the grass.
Yeah.
As they're looking out into the National Guard. And thinking, what can we do? How are we going to manage to get ourselves past National Guard? But of course, Sheriff Marshall's infected. He's feeling generous.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there silent for a second. And he just says, good deputy always does what a sheriff tells him to do. And look at each other. And he's like, what did you say? A good deputy always does what a sheriff tells him to do. Hell, I'm gone already. Let it mean something. Sacrifice. He's going to go out there.
Distract the army, guys.
Did you like that? That scene? Did you like the whole heartfelt redemption nature?
It was so dumb because
he's regular, then he turns crazy.
Then he's regular again, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, mate, I was being a bit of a shit back
regular
there. Let me make up for that by offering myself." And also, it's kind of selfish of him to be like, Deputy always does what the sheriff says, because if he's basically saying, I want to sacrifice myself so that my death means something and you two can get away, why does he then have to put it on the sheriff's shoulders to be like, no, I did what you told me to do, so you killed me?
As he's going to sacrifice himself, right?
Yeah.
You ever heard that song? If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough. I'd like to dedicate that to Deputy Marshall, because he's gone to confront the National Guard, being loud about it, waving his arms and stuff, insinuating that he's got a gun behind him. So he has been given a gun. But he's kind-hearted now, so we know he's not actually going to shoot anybody. And when he's coming towards him, he's essentially committing suicide by having the National Guard blast him away, so he's not going to stop coming.
Yeah.
But he's wearing a bulletproof vest. He didn't decide to take the bulletproof vest off before attempting to commit suicide by a National Guard. You would have thought, just make this quick. Instead of being shot a bunch of times with my bulletproof vest on, staying alive for ages, being riddled with bullets, it's a good idea to take it off.
Yeah, I didn't clock that bit.
Why has he got his bulletproof vest on when he's going to die? That's his mission, to die, to sacrifice himself. I'll wear a bulletproof vest while I do that, just in case someone shoots me.
Well, maybe because if he had just gone out there and been killed with the first bullet, it wouldn't have been enough time for the other two to get away. The distraction wouldn't have been as...
Classic Hollywood cheese, though, all that.
Yeah.
And Oliphant and his wife, they hunker down in a diner. And they start making out right quick, because I guess they must be horny after all this zombie action.
All that adrenaline.
Yeah. So they make out. They plan to go and get a truck. With a truck plan, they're going to get a truck. They do kind of get the truck, but of course, two crazies come while they're getting the truck.
Yeah.
One's in this underground bit. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be.
Underground.
I guess we'd work on the truck.
Oh, okay. So under the truck.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. In the mechanic-y bit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like I said, there were two crazies where the truck where the truck is. And, they managed to get it, though, because obviously they're going to shoot the zombies.
Isn't this the bit as well where Oliphant, defeats a zombie, sets it on fire, and manages to drive the truck out just before everything explodes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good timing.
As they're driving down the highway, though, there's a nuclear explosion. So
that too.
The country has nuked the town, and of course the truck can't outrun this, so we get approaching from behind, the truck gets flipped and all that. They managed to get out, they survived the truck flip from the nuclear blast, and now of course we're back on foot again, because there's no more vehicles, and now they literally are kind of the last people left in town. But we know it's all right because they get halfway through their journey, and next shot of them we see they're wearing branded clothing. So
Yeah, but we
one
saw them
minute-
pick that up in the shop
it
before
was
they
branded,
left. Yeah,
and they're
town.
heading to Cedar Rapids, Iowa. So that should be good. That town is also under surveillance.
There's nowhere safe.
Is the small town sheriff going to get a job in a big place like Cedar Rapids? Because apparently that's like over 100,000 people live there.
Well, no, they're going to get there and then the whole thing's going to be nuked. So there's no happy ending.
Does he have
That's what I
authority
think.
in Cedar Rapids, Iowa? Especially now he's just wearing branded clothing and not
Well, he
his
can't
sheriff
say who
outfit.
he is because then the government will get him anyway.
Government already know, like facial recognition, you're saying.
Well,
They've got his info.
No, but, to be able to say, oh, I was the sheriff of this town, he has to say who he is.
Right, so now it's like the opposite of Banshee, where he's going to pretend not to be the sheriff.
They'd both have to pretend to be completely made up people because otherwise
So you
the government will get them.
loved this movie.
It was quite entertaining.
See, it's got you.
I like Timothy Oliphant.
First time I saw it, I thought I liked it. Took me a long time to rewatch it. I watched it when I was a
So
kid.
I'll just leave it then.
I was like,
And
yeah.
just keep the pleasant enough memories rather
Exactly.
than
Now,
ruining it.
now the pleasant memory is ruined. There's one good scene in the whole thing, and the rest of it is just really stupid.
Part of the course.
Yes. Not bad, though.